What's up? What's up? Wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. Man, what is going on? Man, what is going on? So much shit going on. Shout out to everybody at the corporate plantation. It's another day, another 10 cents. I know somebody telling on somebody right now. You know how you niggas are. Y'all get on the job, get to telling. Just telling for no reason. Can't stand motherfuckers like that. Don't even need to tell and be the main one. Hey, boss. You know Shaquanda came in 2 minutes late. Like, damn, thank you for letting me know. Anything else? And I heard her over there saying something about she was getting ready to transfer. You know how motherfucking niggas are. They gonna get it's so many Hayward Shepherds in the world. We gonna discuss that today. We gonna talk about high school anti-black behavior. You know what I mean? That seems like it's a trend right now. Because I was reading this article about this young brother named Harrison Jordan, and he went to this school in Pearl River and Nyack. I don't know if it's Pearl River. They're not really saying what the name of the school. I'm trying to look and see what the name of the school is. They're not really trying to say too much. It's Nyack Hoops. And let me see. It said right at the Rockland County Holocaust Museum and Center for Tolerance Education and Harvest African American Connection would present their program. Man, see, they not really. I notice when they get to anti-black racism, they don't really want to talk about shit. So we gonna get into it. I'm gonna do a little research as the podcast goes on, but I just want to let y'all know that, hey man, you got your kids in these great schools, it's still gonna be anti-black racism going on. Y'all motherfuckers better wake up and understand that shit. That's real. Shout out to all you begging ass niggas too. If you begging, I don't know what to tell you. It's been one. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where the fuck you going, but I know you ain't going nowhere near the fuck where I'm at with that begging bullshit. Motherfucker always want to, you know the motherfuckers that always want to borrow $10 and, hey man, let me get $10. Let me get $5. Like, damn, nigga. Hey man, let me borrow your last pair of drawers. You know, that type of shit. So you gotta watch motherfuckers like that, man. But anyway, man, we about to get into it today. We about to talk about a whole bunch of shit. We still about to discuss the Super Bowl. We about to discuss the Super Bowl for real. And we're not going to discuss it in the fashion of what y'all think. We're going to discuss it in the fashion of that's what everybody lived for the Super Bowl. Now that that's all said and done, and Inglewood, California, along with California, has made billions and billions of dollars, I want to know how much money everybody else got. So we're going to talk about that today. For real, as I still look. Because they not even trying to talk about the school or nothing. But I'm about to get into it, though. Because I noticed that. I'm like, why they not talking about the school? Let me see. Dr. Marco Panchesta, a white Hispanic, Pearl River School superintendent. So it's let me see, Nyack School Board. See, they not really telling you what the fuck is going on. Okay, behavior would not be tolerated. In previous incidents, a gay, straight, trans alliance board. You like, why are you talking about this, Warren? Because I'm about to tell you exactly what I mean about how our struggle, they will muddy the waters and make it a melting pot. Now, it was this kid that was shooting free throws, and the white people in the stands was making monkey noises and doing all this other shit. That ain't got shit to do with the LGBTQ LMNOP. It ain't got shit to do with the white Jewish community. It ain't got shit to do with none of that. So that's exactly why I'm talking about this shit today. Because I notice when it's time for our struggle, they always include everybody else. Shout out to Erica, Shawnee, Tasha, all y'all. No Compromise. You already know what it is, man. Hey, No Compromise, man. We got to do a Spaces on Twitter, a Twitter Spaces. We need to do that. If who all that don't got Twitter, go get you a Twitter, man. And that's like the new and inventive wave, to do a podcast. And Twitter Spaces, man, I would like to do a Twitter Space with me and my brother No Compromise, man, and have everybody that's on YouTube, if we can kind of get on the same page and just all get on there and have conversations, man, because some people be having conversations. It'd be good conversations, man, but I feel like a lot of times we go too hard on us and we don't go hard enough on other racial groups. Like I said, when I was discussing this situation with these sisters, they was just like, oh, we already know about racism and all that. But, well, this is what the dominant society wants you to do. Take the topic off of them and put it on us. And that's psychological warfare. Because you're making me feel like it's my fault that I was enslaved for 450, 500 years. You're making it like it's my fault that I'm black in the United States of America Incorporated. And that's what I think we need to start doing. It's just like when you look at these schools, We need to start holding the schools accountable. Period. Why is that being tolerated? Why is it a kid could keep doing those gestures and saying that shit and nobody check the shit and say, hey man, you gotta go, you gotta get out? Because you can't go to a white Jewish basketball game and start saying all these Jewish epithets. Hell, they suspended Whoopi Goldberg for not calling out the racism. You know what I mean? And it's so funny too, because right now, you know, they always want to make black folk the victim of everything by why Josh Duggar, that motherfucker that was on TV, is going to prison for child pornography. But they ain't saying shit about that though. See, these are the things that I want to really get into, and see, they're going about it the whole way. Let me see. Nyack Superintendent of School. See, they not saying what the name of the school is. Well, let's see. Nyack basketball head coach Ethan Smith at Nyack High School, February 11th. Okay, Pearl River School District is 2% black, 16% Hispanic or Latino, and 76% white. So basically, 16 to 76%. So that's 90% white, because a lot of white folk, they will claim this, I'm an island by that bullshit until they get pulled over by a goddamn police officer. Then I white. I not Latino. I Latino. I white. You know that bullshit. You know, motherfuckers want to play that black shit until the motherfucking police come. And then when the police come, motherfucker, I Latino. I speak Spanish. That bullshit. Y'all niggas know. Motherfucker be talking about, I don't give a fuck how much you tote your flag around and talk about you Hispanic, you got all these Hispanic roots. I very seldom have yet to meet someone that has not acquiesced and succumbed to the system of racism, white supremacy, and got on code with other white folk. So if Pearl River High School or Pearl River School District, 2% black, 16% Hispanic and or Latino, and 76% white, according to New York State Education Department data. Nyack School are 16% black, 26% Hispanic or Latino, and 42% white. Rockland, though, is a small county, and kids involved in sports cross paths in youth league. See, and that's another thing too. Very, very elusive. They're not saying really the name of the school. They're not really saying nothing, because I was reading, I was like, why they not saying it? And then they keep talking about the homophobia. Like they like to group racism with homophobia and all this other shit. Don't group anti-black racism with none of that other bullshit. Because let me tell you something. You didn't have time to be on no LGBTQ shit when you was building them goddamn when you was picking that goddamn cotton. You better not be talking about, get out there and get to acting moist. You tell a black thoroughbred motherfucker that was bred to breed and have a whole bunch of kids because that slave master is depending on this black man to have sex with all these different slave women so he can have a whole bunch of slaves. Let that motherfucker say, ooh, I don't like no pussy. Man, they'll beat him into a pulp and then they'll buck break him. So look, we need to stop with all the bullshit and stop classifying our shit with other shit. That's why, like I said, man, look, I don't care if you LGBTQ. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point and the problem that I have. The problem that I have is they like to, the dominant society, muddy up the waters and cause confusion. As Neely Fuller Jr. teaches, the dominant society are the masters of confusion. They're the masters of confusion. So when it's time for black folk, for people to start looking at black people and be like, hey man, that's some racist shit. Then they be like, oh yeah, no homophobia, no black, no racism, and no homo. It'll turn into some whole other shit. It ain't nothing focused on what it needs to be focused on. That's what I've noticed the whole motherfucking time. Cause as I'm looking, I'm like, why the fuck is they talking about this shit? That doesn't even have nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm even read right here, say it's clear that we must do more to teach our students about the history of racism and homophobia. Homophobia didn't build this country. Homophobia didn't have Harriet Tubman freeing the slaves. Homophobia did not get Denmark Vesey killed. Homophobia, that ain't got shit to do with what the fuck black folk have been through in this country. So anybody that you come across that's black in the United States of America Incorporated, that's a foundational black American or native black, as Dr. Claude Edison teaches, when they start talking that shit, just pull them to the side and say, hey man, I think you need to read Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. And they'll be like, why? Just be like, just read it. because this is distinctly for us who built the country. We're like FUBU, for us, by us. We built the country. So they want to me, in my personal opinion, they want to have everybody else in the struggle. These kids are in the audience making monkey noises. They're not saying faggot. They're not calling him moist. That don't got shit to do with it. They're not calling him no Jewish racial slur. They basically making monkey noises, calling him a fucking black monkey or a porch monkey or some shit. But y'all talking about some other shit. And this is what we need to wake up from. It's just like when you look at the Super Bowl. Dr. Dre was like, yeah, they told us to take some stuff off. Exactly. Exactly, they told y'all to take some shit out. Exactly. You can do the crip walk and do all this other shit. But there's certain words we just can't allow. And basically, you know what they did was, they just, in my personal opinion, bastardized the form of the NFL, of the way it used to be, to, I would say, play to the black folk of the United States of America's ego a little bit. And say, hey, you know, we acknowledge you guys. Here, we're even going to let you share the stage with us. But they don't give a fuck about no niggas. You see who the owner of the LA Rams or the Inglewood Rams? White. The person who got the MVP was white, even though the brother made the defensive sack and basically won the game for him. They gave it to the white brother. I'm just saying. You want me to call the kettle? I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand what it is. And we got to know when we're being catered to in such a way where it's almost obvious. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, this shit don't make no sense. Where's the money at? Like, where's the money? Where's reparations? Y'all making a whole bunch of money. This is what the question that I always had. Where is the money for reparations? Y'all got money to do all this other shit. And I want to ask you Biden sexuals, where the fuck is Joe Biden at? Where the fuck is our money at? Where's all these things that he promised and all these things he said he was going to do with his lying ass? Now you want to meet with Ice Cube and everybody because you know that you're very unpopular with a black society at this point in your presidency. So that's what that is. They finna wheel Obama's clown ass out, Michelle Obama out. They finna wheel out all these black people out there. But again, these are the questions you should ask. So why y'all not doing that in these schools where kids are shooting free throws and they getting called monkey? But you know what? How they gonna do something at the school level when somebody in Utah called Russell Westbrook a nigga? So look, what goes on at the bottom is the reflection of the top. That's what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches, and that's a fact. So if it's fucked up at the bottom, just imagine the top, because that's a reflection. Or as, you know, I always say, attitude reflects leadership. So when you see a whole bunch of fucked up attitudes and people that don't give a fuck, that's the leadership that's involved. You say, but why you say that? And the reason why I say that is because what else is there to say? You know, what else is there to say? That's why I'm looking and I'm like, man, they keep, let's see what I can find. I ain't gonna try to find no clips or nothing. I just want to see. Let's see. School superintendent. Okay, yeah, but they ain't talk about it. Racial taunts at Pearl River basketball game shock community. So it's Pearl River basketball, and the two kids. It's a white kid, but I cropped his ass out. The black kid who, Nyack basketball players Cameron, whatever, left, and Harrison Jordan. Cameron must be, but his last name, his dad must be white or some shit. I don't know. But whoever it is, it doesn't matter. You're calling a nigga monkey and all this bullshit, and y'all at Nyack High School. That's what the name of it. Nyack High School. So let me see what I can find. Let's see what I can find real quick, because I find this very interesting that, you know, for some sort of reason, they ain't talking about this shit. Let me see what I can find on here, man. 'Cause I'm telling you, man, motherfuckers be thinking, oh, ain't no racism, ain't no this, it ain't no that. Man, get the fuck out of here. Ain't no this, ain't no that. Let me see. Who is it? Nyack. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can find something. No, they don't have none. They just got YouTube videos, but they don't. Let me see. Spring Valley High School. Yeah, they don't got nothing. Yup. Let's see. What's his name? Let me see if I can find that kid's name. What's his name? Let's see if we can find. Let's see if I can find them, because I'm trying to look them up and see if they talk about anything. They don't ever talk about this shit either. That's another thing that I noticed. They don't never talk about this type of shit that go on. So I'm gonna see if I can find it. If not, it's not a big deal. Let's see. Let's copy. Let's see if I can. Let's see. I'm just about to see if I can find this real quick. But yeah, man. That's why I know because I was looking, I was like, man, why they cropping everything? Why is they cropping everything with us? Like, don't. Here, let me see what I can find. Here, let's see. I'm gonna see what I can find and see what they play, because I wanted to play it. All right, let's see. Skip.
Line, I remember I was going to try to get the offensive rebound, and I hear like little like screeches of noises, but I'm so focused I don't even know what's going on. Then I come out the game, and Harrison actually told me that they were making monkey noises during free throws.
There was a game against Nyack against Pearl River, the basketball team, and I guess while they were playing, there was one of our students was at the foul line, and while he was going to shoot.
And it seems to appear like this is a black man, but I don't think he's foundation. I think he's non-FBA, because he's got a crazy ass name, which means he's probably on code with the dominant society, and he's just gonna let this blow over, because that's what y'all immigrant coons do.
There was some sounds that were made, and those sounds came across as monkey or ape sounds.
I heard it, but it's obviously one of those things. It's like you hear it, but you don't think it's happening, or you don't want to believe it's happening. So it was really after the game when we went back and we watched the video, and it was very clear on the video that that's what was happening during the game.
But this takes it to a completely different level. It was just not making comments about the players. It was making racial sounds about our students, and I just can't fathom any community accepting this as an appropriate behavior.
The adults in the facility could have stopped the game, adjusted behavior.
That's what I'm saying. You stop that. You stop the game and say, hey, you got to get out. Matter of fact, we're going to hold you and detain you, and you're going to be brought up on charges. That's a racial hate crime. We're going to consider that a hate crime, because you could be inciting a riot. What if black people retaliate? What if a whole bunch of white mobs get together and do something to this kid because that team wins? You would be he should be charged with inciting a riot, because that could be a race riot that you're doing by calling and insinuating that this is a monkey shooting a free throw. But nobody looks at it like that at all, because he's white.
To send a message that this is something that's not tolerated in their district. However, that not being done, sends another message as well.
The superintendent of Pearl River has already indicated that they're doing a full investigation.
A full investigation means it's white people investigating white people, and nothing's going to happen. That's the same thing what happens at the court plantation when you go to human resources. It's just white people investigating white people. And then they just move the goalposts and change everything, which makes it I would say, more palatable for the dominant society. That's all. There's just a slap on the wrist for the dominant society, and go on and do what you've been doing, and just make sure nobody hears you call him a nigger next time. That's all that is.
Of the event, and we're looking forward to hearing what happened during that time and what measures are going to be taking place to, number one.
We already know what happened. They was making monkey noises while we shooting free throws. Ain't no investigation. So they're going to do an investigation on a kid making monkey noises, but they don't want to do an investigation on Kendrick Johnson, who got killed, or I forgot that brother's name. I know his name's KJ, who got killed in Georgia, Valdosta, Georgia, wherever the fuck that place is, and they found him stuffed in a wrestling mat with all his organs gone once they did the autopsy, but they don't want to do an investigation on that. Oh, that's right, because the kids that killed him, their dad was FBI, and he had big-time power in that city, so that's why all 7 judges had to recuse themselves, and then you had people that were being scared by the father because the father was basically low-key threatening the witnesses, so they didn't want to come forward. They know who killed, I think his name's Kendrick Johnson. They know who killed him. But they don't want to talk about, you don't want to do no investigation on that. Somebody died. Somebody got murdered, but you want to do an investigation on a kid yelling monkey and making monkey noises? This is the United States of America Incorporated. A motherfucker will do an investigation on a motherfucker making racial slurs and monkey noises, but y'all won't do an investigation on Kendrick Johnson and he got killed? Man, stop. Get the fuck out of here.
Hold people accountable.
At Wednesday night's basketball game with Nyack, played in Pearl River, sounds imitating monkeys were heard coming from our student spectator section. Our high school administration responded to this incident by going into the student section and addressing the group directly.
No, you don't address the group directly. You stop the game. You stop the game and you escort them the fuck out of there. You get their names, their last names. You call their parents and say they're going to be suspended until further investigation is done of what they did. Because you could be inciting a riot. You can't do that. You don't do that. You dog whistling.
We absolutely find this behavior deeply disturbing, harmful to all of us, and racist. We are actively investigating this matter. We are committed to doing everything within our power to change, including confronting the issues of racism, bigotry, hatred, and bias.
Man, get the fuck out of here. I just thought I would play y'all that shit. That's some bullshit. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Hey, no compromise. What's going on, nigga? Yo, what's good? Wow. Hey, I be trying to do podcasts on topics that I know ain't nobody talking about. My brother, we need to do a Twitter space. So you could upload it to your page and I could upload it to mine. Cause I feel like we need to jump on this now while it's hot. Like the next time like you have those calls, I'm gonna screen record too. I'm gonna put it on my page because people need to, like whoever view my shit, they need to see you for real. And we need to do these Twitter spaces too, man. Cause I got some cooking with some of my homegirls. Shout out to Miss Tanya and Latanya, man. I got some cooking with them too, man. I ain't gonna talk too much about it until it goes into full effect, man. But I really want to take advantage of the Twitter space before, it gets too big. Because I think there's a lot of discussions that need to be had. I really think we need to stop focusing on entertainment because the dominant society runs that. Okay, I'm gonna just say this, because here's Nearly Fuller's book right here, Nearly Fuller Jr.'s book, and they dominate 9 areas of people activity. So, and I ain't looking at no screen or nothing. They dominate labor, law, education, entertainment, economics, religion, sex, war, and what's the other one? I always forget the 8th one, or the 9th one, the 9 areas of people activity. I think, is it counter war or just war? It's one of them. I always forget one of them. I always leave one of them off. But they dominate religion. Let's go down it real quick before I get up out of here. How do they dominate religion? Go into your average black Christian church and see who's on the wall. Cesare Borgia. Okay, how do they dominate law? 99.9% of the judges are fucking white. 99% of the lawmakers are fucking white. Okay, next. And 99% of the presidents, 999.9999999 have been white. Okay, so that's how they dominate education. Let's see. When you open up your school book, when do they ever really talk about slavery in the context of us building the country? No, that's one. 2, I got another example for you. Go read the books, not Slavery by Another Name, but read the book Stolen Legacy. My brother No Compromise will vet me if I am telling lies. According to that book, Stolen Legacy, Pythagoras, as in the Pythagorean theorem, that did not come from him. That came from ancient Kemet, the land of the black. So, yeah. So, of course, education, they dominate that, which is all lies, because they could just make up whatever the fuck they want to make up. Well, Warren, what do you mean by the Pythagorean theorem? In geometry? Let's see, because the Library of Alexander was raided by Alexander the Greek, not the Great, because he was known for killing black folk. And once they raided that library, when they raided the library and kept all the esoteric knowledge from the Moors, basically, Alexander the Greek was like, Okay, well, y'all niggas should just teach it yourself and act like you made it up. That's why we're always referring to Aristotle and Socrates and all these other motherfuckers when they was waiting to get into the mystery schools years and years and years to get in there. So, okay, that's education. Economics. Who is on the dollar? What is the dollar backed by? It's backed by white faith. That's what it's backed by, not white faith. Because it's not backed by gold. It's not backed by any real currency. And who dominates economics? Let's see. The dominant white society. Example. Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, and he's dead. And Elon Musk, and who else? Let's see. And Warren Buffett, I think I named him already. Those people that I named that are billionaires probably have more than all 40 million black people combined. Okay, so they dominate that. I got you though. When you try Twitter Space, I'll get on. Let me know when you on there. I'm gonna get on with you. Don't trip. Let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up. I gotta give you my number too, man. So when you go on there, boom, I can go on there with you. Okay. We said education. We said law. We said economics. Okay, entertainment. Entertainment. Every major record label with any type of distribution and record is ran by the dominant white Jewish society. Need I say more? Death Row. Then you have Interscope. Who's Interscope? Jimmy Iovine. He's not happening to be a white Jewish person, but he's a part of the dominant white society. Let's see. We want to perform at the Super Bowl, but there's some things that we need you to take out. Too niggerish for us. That type of shit. Let's see what else. How else they entertain. Let's see. They have all the major contracts for all the TV commercials and contracts with NBC and ABC and CNN. Who owns these stations, these TV stations? Who owns Viacom? Let's just use them for an example. As they bullied our brother Nick Cannon into apologizing and doing all this other shit. Who owns Viacom? The Redstones, right? The white Jewish family, right? The dominant white society. Okay, so we've already got through entertainment. Labor force. Who dominates the labor force? Who are the owners of these corporations that employ black folk? The dominant white society. Okay, let's see. What else? War. The United States of America Incorporated have always used the art of war tactics and war tactics to bully other countries and nations. Let's just take, for instance, before I get out of here, our great brother R.I.P. Muammar Gaddafi, who wanted to liberate his people. He was from Libya. He loved the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He wanted to back the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan with Libya's wealth. And our great brother Muammar Gaddafi wanted to create the gold dinar, which means it would be backed by gold and it would be backed by all the African countries. And they did not want to use the US dollar that's not backed by anything. And so what they did was they used art of war tactics and they assassinated Muammar Gaddafi. Okay, so that's war. So I'll just leave it at that. You guys go and figure out the rest of those areas of activity that the white folk dominate. And it'll bring you right back to what we always talk about every day, all day. Racism, white supremacy. And if you're not trying to establish that system, then I don't know what you're doing. So remember this. They will do an investigation for a white person to yell monkey noises at a basketball game, but you won't do an investigation for Kendrick Johnson, who was found rolled up and stuffed in a wrestling mat. And then when they found those extra files from the Freedom of Information Act, the two suspects were right next to Kendrick Johnson, but they said they didn't see him all day. But we forgot that their dad was the FBI, and the FBI, we know the origination of that. The etymology of the FBI is J. Edgar Hoover, who was the inventor of COINTELPRO, and his sole mission was to seek and destroy the next black messiah. You need to go get this book, The Burglary. The discovery of J. Edgar Hoover's secret FBI. I read this book like 4 years ago, and The main person who broke into the FBI building and picked the lock was Keith Forsyth, and they distributed all those files from J. Edgar Hoover as his dumbass wrote it down, and they distributed it among the United States of America Incorporated because they were inspired by Daniel Ellsberg when he released the Pentagon Papers. Vet me out and go and read these books. Hey man, that is my time. I got to go. No compromise. We got to get together and do this Twitter space as well. If you are making excuses for somebody making monkey noises, you are a Tell 'em About the Gun line, Hayward Shepherd, Stephen from Django, and I don't fuck with you. And you already know what the words is that I use at the end of every podcast. Guilty nigga, I'm out. Peace.